We usually define peace by what it lacks, the absence of war or the absence of harm. Biology, however, suggests a definition based on active stabilization. The Sanskrit root of ahimsa combines a, meaning without, and himsa, meaning harm. Modern data identifies this state as an active, creative, and transformative biophysical condition. Dr. Hari Singh Mina's research moves ahimsa into the laboratory, identifying it as a measurable reality within neuroscience, evolutionary biology, and quantum physics. As global conflicts escalate and mental health markers decline, the mechanics of nonviolence provide a technical framework for individual and social recovery. Under this biological lens, violence functions as a degenerative systemic error, a breakdown of the body's optimal operating parameters. This investigation translates ancient maxims into modern datasets. We will use this matrix to evaluate whether long-standing ethical frameworks align with empirical observation. Our cross-examination covers 4 traditions: Buddhist, Vedic, Jain, and the socio-political applications of nonviolence. We are testing whether these ethical ideals function as the most efficient biological settings for human physiology. This mapping connects the intuitive observations of ancient thinkers with the data captured by fMRI and genomic sequencing. We begin with the Buddhist concept of karuna, or shared suffering, and its relationship to neuroanatomy. In the 1990s, Giacomo Rizzolatti identified mirror neurons in the brain's premotor cortex, cells that respond to the actions and sensations of others. When observing another in pain, neural networks, specifically the insula and anterior cingulate cortex, fire in a pattern nearly identical to the subject. The brain processes this distress as a direct internal experience, blurring the boundary between self and other. These mirror neurons suggest that karuna exists as a hardwired biological reflex. Empathy functions as a default setting in the human nervous system. Committing violence requires the brain to override its natural architecture to suppress this built-in empathic response. The Vedic concept of sthita prajna, steady inner peace, finds its scientific correlate in psychoneuroendocrine immunology, or PNEI. PNEI tracks how specific mental states govern hormone release and the performance of the immune system. In this model, chronic hostility triggers a sustained spike in cortisol. This high-stress state suppresses natural killer cells, leading to a measurable depletion of protective cells and leaving the body vulnerable to infection. Conversely, states of forgiveness and compassion associated with ahimsa trigger the release of oxytocin, which supports cardiovascular health and immune function. Barbara Fredrickson's 2013 data shows that loving-kindness meditation alters gene expression to reduce systemic inflammation and protect telomeres, the markers of cellular aging. This is supported by Richard Davidson's fMRI research, which recorded highly synchronized gamma-wave activity in the brains of long-term meditators, indicating optimized neural communication. Ahimsa acts as a biological shield against cellular degradation, while sustained hostility functions as a systemic toxin. If nonviolence is a baseline biological setting, why does nature appear to prioritize violent competition? This view stems from a limited reading of Charles Darwin. Survival of the fittest has been frequently used to justify violence as a biological necessity. Evolutionary biologist Peter Kropotkin provided a counter-narrative in 1902, documenting how mutual aid and cooperation are equally decisive factors in the survival of a species. This aligns with the Jain concept of parasparo pagraho jivanam, the principle that all life is bound together by mutual support. Modern quantum biology provides a potential physical basis for this, showing how quantum coherence allows biological systems to maintain high-speed, synchronized communication over long distances. At a subatomic level, living systems are governed by entanglement, a state where the condition of one part of a system directly affects another. From macroscopic ecosystems to these subatomic interactions, biological life is built on a physical architecture of mutual reliance. These biological and quantum principles scale up to influence the behavior of entire human societies. Mahatma Gandhi's Satyagraha applied these principles as a technology for mass-scale conflict resolution. By meeting violence with disciplined non-resistance, Satyagraha forces an opponent to engage their mirror neurons, aiming to transform their neurobiology rather than damaging their body. Dr. B. Ambedkar applied a structural equivalent through the concept of Dhamma, using nonviolence to target systemic injustice and the caste system. This pursuit of social justice reflects findings in social neuroscience, which identifies specific fairness neurons that register systemic inequity as a high-stress cognitive threat. Political nonviolence and social justice function as macro-level expressions of the biological drive for mutual aid. The completed matrix shows that neuroscience, immunology, and quantum biology converge on a single point: ahimsa. Today, these principles reduce school bullying by 40% through socio-emotional learning programs using nonviolent communication. On a national scale, the Rwandan Gacaca courts demonstrated how prioritizing reconciliation over retaliation can stabilize a society following total collapse. Even in digital development, the principles of harm reduction in artificial intelligence reflect a modern application of these ancient constraints. Ahimsa provides the biological and psychological mechanism for a species to move past baseline survival toward long-term systemic stability.